I'll tell you what got me into this. When I was a little kid, growing up in Brooklyn, coming from a immigrant family, my parents were off the boat, didn't speak too much English. My dad worked his butt off trying to make sure we have a good life. Um, Living in Brooklyn, came from a poor family, and always looked and desired nice cars outside. I always wanted one of those nice cars. We didn't have nice cars when we were little. My parents didn't have a car. My dad didn't know how to drive a car until he was in his mid-30s. And our first car, I won't forget, was a Ford Fairlane, very old one. And it was very old, beat up, and I still loved it. People used to make fun of us, but to me, that thing was the best thing ever in my life. It was a nice car. It was black. I remember it was a four-door Ford Fairlane. It was like a 65. Awesome car. And looking at those out that window, in my apartment building, looking at the nice cars that used to drive by once in a while down, the Bell Parkway and Ocean Parkway, we moved around a lot. And I said, one day, I'm going to have one of those cars, and that's what brought me the passion into the car scene, when I was a little kid. Um, you know, uh, Later in life, I got to appreciate it. I got to thank two people that really brought me to where I am with the whole car scene. And one of them is my friend A.G. Martin. Uh, years ago, he called me up, and I was working, doing sales, and asked me if I would be interested in doing some with JL Audio. They were looking for a rep for JL Audio, LKR Marketing, and he knew the contact, and he thought about me to get me into it. And that's what started the whole thing, is when I got into LKR Marketing as the JL Audio, Zab Mobile Multimedia, Stinger. We also did Toucan Racing at the time with the can pipe mufflers and all that, and the shifter knobs. Zapco amplifiers. So I was a rep for 5 or 6 major lines, and that brought me into the industry. I mean, it brought me into the deeper lifestyle. From there, I started to JL Audio at the time, and still is a very exclusive speaker line. And from that line alone, brought me into a lot of celebrity shops, celebrities. My first celebrity I worked with basically was at the time was a very popular DJ named DJ Scribble. DJ Scribble and I did our first show together. He DJ'd for me at Island Fest, but I'll get back into that. But he was one of my first DJs, and inspired a lot for me too, because with him, I saw how great he was and how popular he was on the music and the car scene. And with him, that's where the whole line of the radio show started on Party 105, which was Strong Island Street Rules on Party 105.3. Which was a big, even though it was a small radio station covering Long Island, we had a lot of big-time hitters coming to our show. Run DMC, back in days, Ashanti, Ja Rule, DMX, LL Cool J, 50 Cent, Beyonce, you name it. We had them all at our show. And Kelly Rowland was actually one of our last stars that we had on our show. She was from the former co-singer with Beyonce, and we talked a lot about cars and the love of cars, and that was a big part of the radio. Helped me boom into the car scene. But getting back to the car scene, one year I went to a meeting at MIRA, called MERA, Mobile Enhancement Retailers Association, down in Kentucky, and the founder of Dolby was there doing a speech. And I went into the room and sat down front seat, and this guy inspired me major. And at the time, Fast and Furious was coming out in the movies, and he was giving us ideas what we should do to market our business and market our lines. How do car shows like at the movie theaters, do an event for a Fast and Furious opener, bring people to your business and promote your brand. And it clicked in my head, hey, there really isn't any car shows in Long Island. Not that many in New York. And at the time, even though Hot Import Nights was there once a year, and Import Evolution, all them, it was, Import Expressions, I apologize, at the time. The scene there was no weekly meets for our following, the 12-volt aftermarket industry, the body kits, the rims, the systems in the back with the amplifiers. People didn't understand this. We were an outcast to them. And I just didn't understand it. Going to some of these local meets at the time, like Bald Hill Tuesday nights, I'd bring my Volkswagen down, worked up with TVs in the headrest, amplifiers and subwoofers, and people look at me like, why? Why would you do that? But in my heart, it was my ride. I loved it, and I respected everyone's ride. It didn't matter if they have an old car or a new car or classic muscle. To me, rides are awesome, man. You know, it's in the eye of the beholder. You know, that's what really makes the best thing in the world, man. Is to appreciate people's you know, that's their life right there. You know, that car. And I don't hate. I've never hated on anyone's ride. You know, to you and me, I feel like if you put love into that car, I respect it just as much as you respect it, and I'll show as much love as you do, because that's awesome, man. That's what we're here for. And going back, I spoke to the gentleman from Dolby, and I told him, you know what? When I get back, I'm going to do a car show. I went up to, at the time, Kevin Stelling. That's the other person I like to thank, and he's the president of LCAM Marketing. He was my boss at the time. Never treated me as a worker, though. He treated me as a co-worker, and that's the same way my mentality is too. Treated me as a partner and gave me a lot of respect. And him and I and Ray Kay from Warehouse Distributors at the time, Uncle Steve's, which was one of the biggest stereo shops out in Manhattan, Michael Marvisi. Ray worked for him as a sales manager. All three of us put together one of the sickest shows back in the days called Island Fest, sponsored by Sony, Sirius Satellite Radio. It was our first show, and we got it at Bald Hill. They gave us an opportunity to do it there. It was the aftermarket custom and bike show. Aftermarket, because we were promoting it to the industry, you know, behind the stereo shops, the performance shops, the aftermarket performance shops, aftermarket 12-volt stereo shops. That was an awesome show. I mean, I had celebrities, and forget about the celebrities, but we had awesome cars. It rained, and we did the following week, and thousands of people and thousands of cars still showed up to this event. It was something we worked our butts off for, but we got it done. That was my first show. And from there I learned a lot. A lot of mistakes, a lot of good and bad, but in the end it turned out it was positive. You know, optimism is the most important thing in my life, and I think going the right direction, you know, even though if there's a road in front of me and they splits into two, and one is just quick open and the other one has some bushes and it hasn't been walked on, I'll take the one that hasn't been walked on, just to experience it. I'd rather take a different tour to my future, and that's what I always believed in. You know, that you got to make your own road. You can't not to follow. Be a leader, but yes, sometimes you do have to follow a little bit in the beginning, and then to lead. But true leaders, they know who they are. You have it in your heart from the start, and you can make, like they say when you're a little kid, you can make lemonade out of lemons, man. I can make lemonade. I can make gold out of lemonade. That's what my desire is. And it's not about. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about my heart and soul is about the whole industry of cars, and yes, to make a living off it, of course. Mechanics and performance shops, the guys love working on cars. I love the car scene too, but again, they make money. I have to make a living also. So yes, do I want to make money off this? 100%. But is it the main reason why I'm in it? No. But I do want to do where I can, have it as a business, as a major business, and that's what my goal is for 2014 in the future, is to make Street Wheelz, take it to the next level. A lot of obstacles came in my way. In 2006, I had to stop doing the car show because Bald Hill wouldn't allow me to do their shows there anymore because the outcome of the cars that were coming in and a conflict with another car show, a classic car show that was there, that's been going on for a while. People didn't understand. It was too early still. People didn't understand us. So I lost my contract there. And from 2006, I didn't have a show. 2005, I didn't have a show either. Actually, I'm sorry, it was 2005 to 2006, I didn't have a show. And in 2006, I met a beautiful, beautiful girl. Her name was Joanna. And it was just coincidental how we met. And I met her in 2006, and we were just, she's my soulmate, she's the love of my life. She's my wife now. And she brought me into a meeting with the Copic Chamber of Commerce, which is in Copic, and they were looking to do events at the time. And luckily, known to behold, they had the best beaches down in Babylon. They have Gilgo, Overlook, Cedar, Oak Beach. So I proposed to them to let's do a big car show on Cedar and Overlook Beach. they went through and got it approved through Steve Ballone and Frank Backety, the Parks Commissioner, and it went through. And in 2007, we did the Street Wheelz Custom and Car Bike Show on the beach at Overlook Beach. Amazing show. We had a major media coverage on it. Actually had a couple of media coverage. Cablevision came down, did a whole segment on it on their Optimum Garden, their automobile channel they have, the Auto Channel. Channel 12 came down. We had major magazine coverage on it. Radio coverage, WBLI, was hosted by Astra. We had a huge concert. Lucas Prada, Amuka, Kim Sazi, you name it, Judy Torres, Reina. Astra was hosting it with me. From now she's on BLI. She was at BLI at the time also. DJ Joey Jams was playing the music, man. It was a sick setup. And of course, can't forget Performance Motorsport with their awesome stage. They were one of the best and one of the longest running performance shops out there. And I'd like to thank Gary and Andrew Rubio for helping me out with a lot they've done over the years. But 2007 was an awesome show. We had about 1,500 cars show up. Custom cars now. Not spectator cars. Spectator cars, we probably ran out of room and people were parking on the Meadowbrook Parkway. So it got pretty hectic, but that was our first year back. 2008 and 2009, we continued to do our show, but since it was so big and we were running out of room, we chose to use the smaller venue, which was Cedar Beach, for our car show, and use Overlook Beach, which held about 2,000 cars for spectator parking. Well, guess what? Those 2 years we ran out of room for spectator and the show part. And again, people were parking on Medical Parkway causing traffic. State troopers were concerned. The town was concerned. So in end of 2009, I get a call, and Al, unfortunately, can't do your show anymore on the beach. It's just gotten too big for the venue. Broke my heart, man. And so from 2009, my last show, 2010, 2011, again, 2 years break. I had nowhere to do the show. Then I get a call from someone telling me that Long Island Events, JVC Broadcasting, just took over Bald Hill. So I approached them. My second show in 2004, I did it in conjunction with Party 105, and we got it going. Long Island, I'd like to thank Long Island Events big time. Vic Latino and Matt Golddapper and John Caracciolo and Pat and Bruce and all the rest of the crew over there for giving, believing in me, and giving the opportunity to do something really big over there. And our first year we started off the Monday Night Meets was last year. It was called Hot Rides Monday Night Takeover. It was with the Car Fellas. They're reality TV guys. First time we did it, the first night, Monday night, we had over 1,200 cars show up. It was unbelievable. And this was probably we're going to go back into, say, was the first week of August is when we started. Awesome turnout. Kept it going. And in August 19th last year, we did the Strong Island Street Wheelz Custom Car and Bike Show at the same venue. We had a turnout of about 500 custom cars. Probably about another 2,000 spectators that showed up, 1,500. Wasn't as big as I wanted to be, but it was something, from taking a 2-year break and coming back into it, it was still, for me, it was a win. And now here we are, 2013. And Monday nights is becoming just crazy gigantic. We came out with some other things we're going to be creating and doing this year with the exhaust. I came out with an exhaust run, which has not ever been done before, where we have the cars going through a lane and revving up their engines and parking it, making sure in a safe environment. And we're doing exhaust runs. We're going to be doing a hydraulic and airbag run. And on top of that, something that we haven't seen too much of. I mean, they have exhaust battles, but we're going to be doing head-on battles that I like to put together. I've seen a lot of battles where they have a car comes up and they rev it and they bring another car. Well, we're going to do it head-on, head-to-head, and have the crowd pick it. It's going to be called a street battle, street exhaust battle, which is a whole different lifestyle. Get the exhaust scene out there, make it loud, and that's our next tool. And I plan to do some big things in the future. My next goal is to do a truck show, straight up truck, do diesel and all muscle trucks and diesel, anything diesel and fuel gas, or everything performance and custom truck scene. I want to bring into the island and do a big show for them, and that's my goal for either the end of this year or most likely sometime next year. But you're gonna see a lot more of that out there too that I'm gonna be doing. Um, and remember this, guys. Like I said always to everyone, don't matter what you drive. Some of these guys, they put meets together and they get made fun of why they're putting the meets together when they don't have a hooked up car or a nice car. It doesn't matter, man. It's what's in your heart that matters. If you love cars, rides for life, man. Remember that. It doesn't matter what kind of car. If this guy drives a Lambo, this guy drives an Impala, or this guy drives a Civic, we're all in it together, man. There is one guy is better than the other because he's got a better car. It's not. That's BS, and that's what I don't believe in, and that's what I'm totally against. I don't believe in an elitist car club or elitist car lover or I'm better than you kind of mentality. Listen, we all have our lifestyles. We all make our income certain ways and have our lifestyles in different environments and cultures and all that, and we bring our cars into that. Low mentality has their unique cars. You got a Wolf Squad out there, well, that has their crazy cars, custom. You got Crazy Creations that got some sick rides. You got back in the days Drastic. You got some of these big car clubs with some sick cars, and these guys are doing it for the love of the environment, the culture there. You got Liberty VIP with the VIP JDMs. It's coming out big right now. And crazy thing is, since I left in 2009 to 2012, the whole lifestyle changed, did a whole 360, man. Something called Stance came in, and Hella Flush and all these guys, and I'm like, what the heck is this stuff? What is Stance? I didn't know what it was. Back in the days, in 09, even in 09, like only 3-4 years ago, we had body kits. But I guess during that time, the recession kind of kicked in, and people didn't want to spend money on body kits. So they started lowering their cars. And this was done back in the days. I remember back in Puerto Rico and the big West Indian community has been doing it for a very long time. But I guess it spread like a wildfire, and the whole stand scene came alive. And through this, I've seen some major organizations just in my territory here that started promoting it big time. One of them is a guy I met recently named Tesh from Lower Congress. I met, and then also another big following that's big into the stand scene is Island Import Day. The 4 guys, kids that I met, really nice guys that do Island Import Day. And it amazes me how the lifestyle has changed a lot in that whole aftermarket scene with Stance. But to say custom car audio and custom cars are dead, no way in heck. Just came back from the Brooklyn car show, DJ Magic and Trini Techniques did. Hot 97 car show at the Cyclone Stadium in Brooklyn. And man, the car is there. And the camera guy behind me here, he can vouch for me on this Twix. It's pretty insane. And it got to be a very big event, and I was amazed by the quality of cars there. So is the custom car scene dead? Heck no. Is the car meet scene dead? Heck no. Now they're 2 different entities, and I just want to go over that too with a lot of people. I'm a custom car guy. I was never a meat guy. Custom car guys and meat guys are, we're in the love of it all. Meets are for everyone, regular car, nice car, comes in, hangs out, not judge a trophy, just a hangout zone, lot, or a big space, and a car show is judged, it's a whole different lifestyle also of its own. It's an animal. These guys spend crazy money on their cars, and everyone, again, all equal though. And what I'm bringing this year is to the Street Wars for the first time is we're going to do a Street Wars custom car show and meet. We're going to have two sections for it, and we're going to do a meet, and some of these guys that are rolling with a lot of cars, and we'll put you in there with the custom cars. Don't worry, there's no concern on that. But I know people are frantically worried about, oh no, what if I come and my friends have nice cars? It's for everyone, man. I love every car, so you don't have to worry about that. My biggest positive of this is I believe we're growing fast. We're growing. Since I've been gone, I came back. We brought Bald Hill back. We brought the car show scene back. It was like the last 3 years I've been gone. It was a whole different lifestyle here. But we're coming back strong now. And Big Al, Strong Al Strules is back. And I'd like to thank a lot of people that helped me with this, and a lot of the Bald Hill attendees. A couple of club members that have been really by my side. And one of my closest allies, of course, is Twix. Twix has been my right hand with this all along. He does just not only the videos for me, but he's a diehard fan, fanatic like I am of the whole car scene, and he's an optimist like me. He's a jack of all trades, and makes me believe that everything's going to be all right. Also, to see him and talk to a younger generation like that's going to one day pass the torch, to him, to tell me, Al, it's there, it's live, it's never been gone. Don't give up on it. It means a lot to me. I don't see myself better or anything from him. I see him as an equal, and I listen to everything he says, and he's a genius, man. This kid's a genius. So, working with Twix side by side has pushed me to a nice direction too. And I work with a lot of big heads in the back in the days. I work with SEMA, Peter McElvary from SEMA. He's one of the big founders of SEMA. I even hosted the SEMA show in 2004, and got ideas from all these people, big names. And my original show, Pete from Rapid Auto Repair and Parts, which is the founder of Waterfest. I dealt with him and Rick's Magazine, Rico, and George from System Dynamics, some of the big names out there from the past. I work side by side, but you know what? My positive I got from everyone. I've gotten a lot of feedback from everyone. I learned from every one of them. But to learn from a younger generation, from someone that's just turned 19, man, it's an honor to have someone with so much talent and mind to work with me side by side. And I like to thank Twix a lot for that. He's one of my catalysts to make it, and he's one of those kids that motivated me to push me to the next level. And we're not going anywhere this time. There'll always be venues where we can find to do events, and we're going to continue to do this for life. And maybe in the future we could do some with a TV show. Planning to do another. Hopefully, bring back the radio scene again. A lot. Maybe bring back a magazine again like we did, and make it happen, man. Make it live. And I like to shout out to everyone out there. And I don't want to drop so many names because there's so many people out there that helped me out to make this happen. It's just too many people. But Copic Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank A.G. Martin again, Kevin Stelling from LKM Marketing, Pete from Island Fest, Waterfest, higher back in the days. Even Will Castro from Unique. You taught me a lot too, man. Going to your shop and seeing all the crazy celebrity cars and sick cars you guys did. It's so many. And George from System Dynamics back in the days with all the Rough Riders and all the crazy shenanigans at his shop, and had a lot of great times with him, man, in Vegas. But it's the list goes on, man. We have so many good people that inspired me, and I learned a lot from. And to say I learned it all, no way. Every day is a learning day for me in this car scene and in life general. And to learn from no matter who, and I'm going to give this advice to everyone out there, no matter rich or poor, black or white, no matter if the guy is driving a Honda Civic or a Rolls-Royce Ghost, we're all in it for the same reason, the love of cars, man. And to listen to every one of you guys, I learned from you, man. We learn from each other. And the love of cars, that one day when we do that car show, the rush I get, no matter if you're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, atheist, Buddhist, Hindu, we're sitting there next to either drinking our sodas or drinking our beers or waters. I don't drink alcohol. But having a good time together, man. No matter what, that's what my goal is, to bring us together. And that one day, we have that peaceful day where we're all together and there's no politics and we're just hanging out, having a great day. And one day maybe we could do that in reality too, in the real world. But for now, that's my life right there. Strong Island Street Rules. That's my life.